Okay, so something really weird happened, and I'm still so freaked out, and I wanted to talk about it. And this is going to be the last time that I ever talk about it because I was so freaked out that I actually had to delete the footage. At first, I was kind of excited to show y'all, but then I realized that that's probably what the agenda was, and so I am trying this new place that opened up in a small suburb, like 10 minutes away from my job. And it's Korean and it has really good reviews. So I'm hoping that it goes according to plan. Yeah, I'm just so aghast and taken back. So, oh man. I'm getting the food ready, so if you want to listen to this, great. If not, you can just forward through. But essentially what had happened was, if you guys saw my last tipsy/high video, I was at home alone. And if you got to the part around like 18 minutes and like 20 seconds or 30 to 40 seconds, it's like at the 18-minute mark, the whole thing moves by itself, right? And you could argue that it was me, you could argue that it was one of my cats. But y'all have seen my cats in videos before. Like, I would yell at them if they were right there. And it got pushed towards me. It wasn't even like I pulled it, you know? But nonetheless, that was the third instance on camera that I saw. And while I was editing the last of it, I saw that last one. I actually took out the first two that happened a minute apart in the beginning of the video. And even talking about this now, I'm getting like kind of freaked out. So the camera moved on its own, essentially, and it didn't just move, it got re-centered closer. So y'all who have been watching me know, you know, like there's been old videos of me where I'm like playing around with the setup. Like, I'll leave it in there intentionally just so y'all can see like how I struggle with it. So I've always had issues moving it closer, or like just how it is. And I turned on the camera, and as I turned it on, I left the room towards the kitchen, and the entire thing is on a swivel. You can hear it as if someone's grabbing it, swiveling it, and moving it closer. And then I come back to the room and it stops. Then I do it again, and the same thing happens, but it was even faster. So you know it wasn't the cats, because I would have seen the cats. And it moved closer. I was gonna put this crystal light in here, but it's not working for me. So I'm just gonna do a half-ass crystal light, like extra light. So the camera got recentered on its own twice, and it was just one of those things that I think I had always been looking for something like that. Like, I had been telling y'all that weird things have been happening where things get out of place or things get switched around, but I never had full-on proof. Like, I felt like I was just being gaslighted by myself. Like, did I do that? Did I move that? But now it was just undeniable because the whole thing got removed on its own, like centered and everything. And I can't help but think like it's my brother. Like, I like to think that it's him. I don't think it was anything malevolent or evil, but it definitely wanted me to know that it was there with me. And I had to even remind myself that Jonathan wasn't home, that I was alone by myself, because it was just so blatant. It was like this, like up and then centered and down. Like, I showed three people. It was Jonathan, my really good friend George, and my other friend. And I decided that was the last. Like, it was just those three that I was going to show for. It was just those three that I was going to show, because even the last one, I'm not going to say her name just because she was like really freaked out. And like, she's into all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? 2 months ago, I actually talked about this. I got rid of my sage and my crystals and all that stuff. And I thought that having these things in that household was going to be what was causing things like this. But the second I got rid of them, this started happening. So who do you think got their freaking white sage and candles again? Like, I'm really freaked out. And Jonathan's a skeptic. Jonathan is the Scully and I'm the Mulder, X-Files reference. Scully was the non-believer, skeptic. Mulder was the heavy-ass believer, and I am Mulder to a T. And now that I have that proof, I'm just scared. I'm scared because now I know for 1000% fact that I'm never really truly alone. You know what I mean? Like, we know we're not alone. Like, we know our peoples are watching out for us. But the fact that it was just so blatant and in my face is what terrifies me. So we got some seaweed rolls. This, no matter what, like, this is authentic Korean. Like, I think this is probably the most authentic Korean that I have. Mandu dumplings, veggie. And then I got some rice cakes, which, do you know how hard it is to find not only decent rice cakes, but rice cakes like to go? So this is going to be extra saucy. So that really freaked me out. I feel like I should have left it, but just having that on my camera, like knowing that it's not only on there, but I'm gonna go back and look at it again and again and again and like show people and like try to have them believe me when it straight up looks like it was me. Like, it looks like I went behind the camera and moved it, but it wasn't, and that's what's fucking terrifying. I'm gonna put this in the tteokbokki. Like, I hope that this was a one-time thing. Like, this isn't gonna be something that, oh, they didn't give me chopsticks. Oh my god, they didn't give me chopsticks. I thought they gave me some, y'all. I thought I kept extra ones in here. Y'all, I'm the realest one. I'm the realest motherfucker on the planet. I knew these bitches would come in handy. I'm so excited. This just made my motherfucking day. Because I was like, you know what? I remember thinking, like, go past Lauren. Go Lolo, it's your birthday. Go Lolo. I remember thinking, like, these aren't gonna come in handy. Whatever. Let me try the rice cake. Look at all that sesame seed. Yo, I'm shaking right now. I'm thinking of that story. I'm like low-key scared. Oh my god. Wow, I'm so sorry. Someone called me as I was swallowing that. That is so disappointing. Now we just have to do it again. Look at all that steam. Talk about fresh. It's spicy too. Whew. Wow, this is perfect. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was influenced by my algorithm pushing Jesus Christ. I mean, if I'm gonna have anything pushed, I'd rather it be about good things than not. But, you know, I had kept seeing all these testimonies and all these stories about getting rid of, like, the bruja stuff, you know? And I was like, man, like, maybe that's what I've been doing wrong, you know? There's a part of me that regrets it. There's a part of me that wishes I had stored it, like, downstairs, but I had to do this. I had to do this to 1,100% know whether it was for me or not for me, right? I was like, okay, I've been doing this for a while. Let me get rid of all these things. Like, bro, I got rid of all my stuff, even like a little shell that I had. I got rid of all my jewelry. Like, I got rid of pretty much everything bruja. And 2 months later, that's what happened. And if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, you didn't watch the first half of me just talking, which is fine, but you'll never know what I'm talking about. So, like, I had seen this podcast of this girl who's all about Jesus, all about God. And she was kind of like making fun of the people like myself. Or she was like, y'all pray to rocks. Like, you think that's going to help you? And I was like, shit, maybe not. But then I realized that these rocks have freaking energy, okay? From God, mind you. So, these energies in my head, at least in my beliefs, have protected me because I've never seen anything so blatant, okay? There have been things throughout my life where I was just like I've said, it's been lights left on or objects moved or things just like, I told you the story about how one time I know for a fact that I put a fork for Jonathan down and it got swapped out for a spoon while my back was turned towards the utensil drawer. But I couldn't prove anything. Something touched my phone, y'all. Something touched the phone holder. It was like, it's like one of those swivel ones. So it's not like a cat. You know, my cats have been in front of the camera so many times, y'all. They've been on camera. Like, people have complained about the cats, like, in the camera, right? You can hear their the muffledness from their bodies when they're on the holder. This isn't a cat thing. And now I'm just like trying not to be freaked out because, of course, I'm thinking every little thing that happens is something otherworldly. Like, a couple objects have been falling randomly. Or not randomly. I don't know. And I'll just scream like, ah. But my one good friend recommended that I just ignore it. And this happened on I filmed my mukbang on Saturday night on 420, and then I was editing it and I saw that and I was by myself until very late at night, so I was just frozen in my bed. Sunday I showed my two friends. Monday happened, and then now it's Tuesday. So it's been what? Not even 3 days, like 2.5 days, and I'm full on freaked out. Like I said, I was excited to like put it online for y'all to see, but I wasn't even about to defend it or explain it. I've just never seen anything so blatant. So as I was saying, I hope this is the last time or one of the last times that this happens. Like, I hope this isn't a recurring thing where something just keeps fucking with me. You know, I had to ask my landlord in the beginning if the place was haunted, and he said no. But I know he said his family lived there throughout his life, so it could be one of his relatives. I am going to try to find an old video that I think I saved of where I thought I did hear a man's voice that sounded like it was like a European man saying like, I like your cat. So as much as I'd like to think it's my brother, I just think it's something in that house, because there was something in our apartment, rather, because there was something in our last apartment, but that one felt a lot more malevolent. This one just feels playful. But I feel like I've always been the type of person to be a believer, but always say like, I want to see undeniable proof. And to me, this was undeniable. No one else was with me. I was alone. It wasn't me. It wasn't the cats. There will always be those factors of reasonable doubt. But to me, it's 100% certain. It ain't no like 99.9%. But if you want to factor those factors in, I'll say 99.9% chance that it could have been a cat, but it wasn't. So I'm not going to do any seances. I'm not going to talk to it. Like, my friend did recommend that I just say, hey, I acknowledge you. Don't bother me. I won't bother you. But I'm scared in doing that, which I've already did, that that'll just provoke it. I think the movies make it worse. Like, as long as nothing hurts me, like, I'll be okay. I just hope it's not like, you know, fucking paranormal activity or some shit. I mean, I can still believe in God and, like, look, I'm just trying to test it out. Because nothing this blatant has ever happened when I did have my sage, my crystals, and my candles, you know? My ass went straight to the spiritual store on Sunday. I went to the same one that I've been to. I really couldn't find anything online. I just feel like it's either like those places that you know, and you just randomly run into, like, I decided that when I'm in the house and I'm moving, I'm not going to talk about it to you guys while I'm filming. I'm not going to turn on the camera and then walk away from the room. And that's why I do think it's my brother, because his ass does want attention. Like, he did want attention. Like, he was a narcissist before narcissist was a thing. Like, trending, you know? He just used to do prankster shit like that. And the fact that I moved the camera closer and, like, reframed was just like, here, I got you, you know? One would like to think, just because you feel energy, right? If it was something malevolent, they would have knocked the camera over. Some crazy shit, you know? It was a like, hey, let me help you reframe shit kind of thing. Here, I got you. But yeah, as much as I want to prove myself and, like, show y'all, I just can't look at that image back over and over and over again. Like, it'll always be in my mind, and it's always me and repeat in my mind, but I can't have it in my phone, and I can't post it out to the world. There's a decent amount of rice cakes in here. They're just so freaky. I remember at our last place with the roomies, the way they would throw our mail down on the floor, like, you could see it was so much aggression, you know? It was just, like, here, sprawled out in, like, anger and, like, mischief. That's what I think of when I think of energies that don't lie. It was like, hey, I want your attention. I want you to know I'm here. If something does happen to me, I got the fucking evidence right here that I'm talking about it. Shit. You know? Don't get me wrong, I haven't turned my back on God. I feel like I can do these things while simultaneously praying to God and Jesus and whatever I believe in. Trial and error, baby. Thanks for watching. Oh, this is so nasty.